Hello everyone, welcome to Pandas. So today's session will be moving towards the some methods, or we can call it's a window function or statistic window function. We'll be seeing two three methods like your rolling methods, then expanding methods, your EWM methods. So just start on that how we have to use it in a Jupyter notebook in a statistic method. So we'll start with the importing first. So we'll be going with import first. Import numpy as an pandas as pd. We run this first. We import the both thing. Let's start with the creating a data where we'll be taking as a random values to pd dot data frame frame, and just we are taking from the things from the random values to going with np because we are taking a array list. So np dot random methods random dot array ndn, and then let's continue with the how many values you want, how many rows you want. So suppose I needed the 15 values, I'm going with the 5 things, the columns in that, and then continue with that. We just give the index how we are doing for the in a previous session already we saw that, like how we are doing selecting data indexing. The same way we are doing for this, just we are using some statistic methods inbuilt. Remember that those are all inbuilt statistic method in a pandas. So go with index equals to, then I'm taking from the pd dot because it's taking from the pandas. So now the main thing, like from range, like whatever the range you are taking, from where to where you are taking the range, so that you can use it in that particular time. Like date range, you have a method called date range. You can use that particular method to give the index on that. So I'm using that method called your date, and then going with your range range date range, and continue with that, like whatever the date range you want to give. Like in index, suppose I want to give the values, you can give directly the index. So suppose I'm just giving directly, also you can use directly. And suppose you want to give the values, index will be in that way, like you will get the things in like a date way, so you can use this method. Or normally also you can give the index, that is depend upon you, what the things are you are giving, and what is exactly you want to like give the values on the to second. Just going with July, so it's say then 6, and it's just going with 2021. So that will be the date. And now after giving the dates, you can give the prayers, like how many prayers, like how many values we are giving. So we are giving already it's 15, so go with the 15. After that, when you finish with the 15, you just go with the columns name, how we are doing for the normal methods also. The same way here also, you have to create the values on that. And the columns name, I'm just giving the c1 because I'm taking a 5. Just go with the 5. How many you will give the index in a random values, you have to take that many. C1, C2, and then continue with your C3, then continue with your C4, then C4, and the last which will be your C5. So this is the 5 methods we already taken, or 5 columns we taken for to give for this thing. So we done with the data. So we just print the data. This is the normal way, just we create it. Now the main important part will be there, like where you have to store, or how you use the statistic method, that is your .ewm. The statistic method is nothing but I just put there. It is dot, you will using dot ewm. Basically this method is applied for your series of data. Here already we use the series of data, so it is used to apply the appropriate statistic function, like whatever we are using the statistical function on the top of it. Like whatever the statistic function you are using here, we are using in that particular statistic method with the help of ewm method. So we already create the data. Let's start to use that, how we have to use it. So we just want to print it. So we already create the data. So data, I'm taking the same name, data dot ewm, the methods, and then the co, like whatever the things you're giving for the mean values, I'm just going with the mean. So just going with com equals to, I'm giving 0.5 because we are doing the means, and then the mean method, mean, mean method. Yeah. So you can observe that it finds all the means of all the particular thing with the 0.5, and you will get for the all the values, like I start with 20606, then it comes to 207, the next day then it's 2082, next month, like that it will be increasing by default. That's why I told you you can give the date range method, or you can normally also give the index on that. Index is compulsory, your wish what index you want to give. So the next methods when we are going will be changing the index. That time you will be more clear, like if you want to change the index you can change it, there is no problem on to change the index. So suppose I'm just taking the same values here, I just copied it, I just paste it here, but here I'm just not planning to give you the index on that. So the periods or index, I'm just want to give directly to the index. So you can remove this particular part properly, and then you can go with all the index 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 6 7 8 9 your 10 11 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, total 15 index. You should give total 15 index. Then you are just going with the columns, because I'm taking all the 5 columns. You can go with 4 column as well and just reprint it. So you can observe all the like indexes changes. So index is your base. So if you want to use some inbuilt function, you can use this type of inbuilt function. And if you want to give directly with the index like this, you can go with index. Let's see how the another method of statistics work, that is your rolling method. We call ROLLING rolling method. So this particular method, when you are going with a print function, because we already created the data, so we just move to print, where we use the data dot rolling, because whenever you use this particular rolling method, you have to go with the dot method, dot rolling, ROLLING dot rolling method. Now, because the windows methods, now how many windows you want to see it, right? So suppose I just want to go with window equals to 4. I just go with window equals to 4, and you can go with 3, 2, 1. That's your way, start me. So I just go with this method, this particular method, and go with mean, and just I close it, and you can run. You can observe that because I am giving it, so in that it will be null value, because I'm giving the 4, like still this 3, it will be the null value. So if you change the values, it will be going continue in our windows. Like in this particular window, I don't want it. So suppose it's taking a rolling. So if we are giving here in that format, and I'm putting here 7, and I'm just want to read, you can observe that till 5, like first row, then it comes to the row. So basically this rolling function is applied on a series data to specify the windows arguments or apply the appropriate statistical function. So those are some statistical function what we use it in our code, like how we have to do that. And in the same way, if you want to go with the expanding method, you can go with the rolling. Except the rolling, you can go with expanding. Let's see that. We already created that, right? So now let's see the another method. We call it in a statistic, we call it expanding. Expanding expanding method. In this, what happened? Basically, expanding method is applied to series of data of min period, like minimum of the period. If you want to go with the data, you can go with. So except this, we are going with here, it's expanding, expanding. Those are all inbuilt method, that's keep in your mind. And in a windows we use the another. So when you run, you will get this particular answer. So you just remember that the two things, like whenever you use rolling method, you should use window keywords to give that null value. And whenever you use this expanding, you should use the mean periods, because it will be taking for the mean period things. So suppose I just change the value, you can observe it how it's changed. Suppose I'm giving 4 here, it will be for 4. So this is how we are using some statistical method to find out the mean, median. Except mean, you can go with median as well. So that is some methods where you can use this type of statistical method inside the pandas. Thank you.